Body modification isn't anything new. Odds are you or someone you know has quite a few tattoos or several piercings on their body. Sometimes, however, this just isn't enough and a person wants to push the limits of body modification to a new level. As you'll see, this can mean anything from new interpretations of tattoo art to radical full-body transformations that leave many of us wondering why on earth someone would do that. Whether artwork, an addiction, or an expression to individuality, these are definitely some of the most shocking, extreme body modifications. Tattoo piercing hybrid. Tattoo work can be pretty impressive and, on its own, get very intricate and detailed. However, by combining elements of piercing into tattoos, we'd say this can get pretty extreme. This hybrid form of modification sees regular inking augmented by adding pieces of metal worked into the design. Mounted with either traditional piercing or riveted into the skin, these hybrid tattoos can look pretty neat. We're just not sure how functional they are in everyday life. Scarring. Perhaps getting something permanently inked on your skin isn't extreme enough. One form of modification growing in popularity is scarring. Rather than using ink, scarring involves cutting your favorite image or words into the skin. When the skin heals, whatever you've had carved in is permanently left as a result of the scar tissue that forms. It sounds extremely painful. Given laser therapy can't remove these types of tattoos, like ink, we imagine you need to be pretty sure about what you're getting engraved before you start cutting. Inked tongue. Remember when piercing your tongue was pretty extreme? Those days are long gone! Then there was tongue splitting, you know, the effect that makes you look part lizard. Well, the next extreme move in tongue modification is full inking. It basically means tattooing your tongue and making it change into a totally different color. It's kind of like when you were little and your tongue got stained from that popsicle, only this stays discolored forever and is sure to freak out people when they first see it. Piercings. There's absolutely nothing new or really extreme about getting a few piercings. After all, people have been piercing their skin since the start of history. However, once you start getting into the high double digits, things can get interesting. What about triple figures? Luis Torregosa from Cuba is known as the piercing king. One look at his face and we think you'll understand why. Luis has 300 cosmetic holes just in his head alone. Such an extreme number of piercings definitely stands out, although it does make us think getting through airport security might be a bit of a challenge for him. Stretching. Odds are that you have seen at least a few people who are into stretching. The most common involves those who stretch out their earlobes by putting in increasingly larger gauge rings to get their earlobes larger over time. Another involves placing increasingly large discs in the mouth to stretch out the lips. This is more common in tribal cultures, but the overall practice of stretching has been around since the time of ancient Egyptians. Still, there are those like record holder Kala Kaiwi who take the practice to the extreme. 3D tattoos. In this instance, we're not talking about using shadow and color to produce a 3D looking tattoo. No, this extreme form of body modification actually involves making a tattoo 3D to both sight and touch. How? Well, by adding subdermal implants. Some people get parts of their tattoos to stand out. Have a tattoo of a girl you want to make 3D? You can do what one person did and add literal breast implants to make the figure stand out. One guy was so into Pokemon, he added implants under his tattoos to make the spheres all truly 3D. Eye tattooing. Anytime you do anything to modify your eye permanently, we think that qualifies as extreme. Sure, you can get colored contact lenses to have the appearance of different colors and shapes in your eyes, but for some people, that just isn't good enough. Enter eye tattooing. In a process that makes most of us squirm just thinking about it, this involves taking a needle and injecting ink into the eye. The results are definitely noticeable, but likely too extreme for most people to ever actually contemplate. Human cat. Why get a tattoo of a lion or a tiger when you can simply become one? Dennis Avner liked tigers so much he decided to change his appearance to become one. In addition to tattoos and piercings, Avner has had subdermal implants and reshaping of his facial bones to become more cat-like. His ears and lips have been reshaped and he even has caps on his teeth to get the full tiger look. The end result is pretty extreme and one we're sure he didn't regret years down the road. Avner unfortunately passed away in 2012. Tunnels. Similar to stretching, tunneling involves putting ever-increasing gauges of jewelry in your body to create an opening. In the case of tunneling, holes are opened in such areas as the nose or cheeks so you can look right in. It creates an interesting, if disturbing, effect for anyone not familiar with it. We also imagine it makes some activities harder to do. That said, there are solid plugs so you get to close up the tunnels so you can perform necessary functions, like eating or drinking. Supervillain. No discussion of extreme body modifications would be complete without covering Henry Damon. This guy is so into Captain America, and particularly the villain Red Skull, that he's modified his face to look like the character. To get the effect, Damon has had extensive tattooing of his eyes and skin. Not done there, he's had subdermal implants inserted and even had his nose surgically altered to look more like that of Red Skull. Too bad he wasn't into Captain America. After all, a set of tights and a shield and he'd be done. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Alright, so now down below, let us know what you thought was awesome, extreme, or just flat out disgusting. We're interested in what you have to say in the comments. Also, check out these videos because you know you want to, and please don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks!